In this video, we will show you how to properly install a Mutaforma covering. Before we start, remember that Mutaforma is not a traditional mosaic covering. It is a new and innovative composite material, thin and flexible as wallpaper, but resistant and shiny like glass. Please watch this video carefully to understand how to proceed. Included in each order, you will find a special box identified by a yellow label on the side. It contains information documents and special tools needed for the installation. A custom rectified notched trowel for spreading the glue. A rubber roller for promoting module adhesion. The module layout. Before laying, make sure that the surface where Mutaforma's material will be installed is a suitable one. It has to be smooth, solid, and free of bumps or dips. If you must, use sandpaper for smoothing surfaces and removing small imperfections. Let's begin the dry installation by first placing the Mutaforma modules on a clean surface without any glue, recreating the design that will be laid. Prepare the epoxy glue as per the instructions and proportions indicated on the package. Use a digital scale to accurately measure the two components, glue and catalyst. The installation of the Mutaforma modules requires a minimal amount of glue. We suggest you do not mix the whole glue container at one time. The glue is ready for use when the two components are perfectly mixed and the mixture is homogeneous. Once mixed, the epoxy glue has a work time of 20 to 30 minutes. Orient the modules top to bottom according to the position and direction indicated on the back of each module. With the special rectified notched trowel, proceed to spread a thin layer of glue on the surface of the support base. Make sure the thickness of the glue never exceeds 1 millimeter. Lay each module starting from one edge and gently roll the module across to the opposite edge. Then proceed with another module. Do not drag the modules onto the glued surface, but glue each module frontally. Lay the modules in parallel rows, alternating the spreading of the glue with the laying of the module. Pass the rubber roller over the entire surface to help adhesion. Do not press punctually with your fingers, as you may emphasize some unwanted indentations visible only at the end of the installation. The glue must never come out of the joint. If this happens, remove the module completely and clean it with a cloth soaked with a denatured alcohol solution. Make sure that the space between the tiles, as well as the edge of the module, are completely clean and free of glue before replacing it. Stop from time to time to check the installed area from afar. You have approximately a half an hour from the application of the glue to make small corrections in the positioning of the modules. To move them correctly, use the plastic trowel, evenly distributing the pressure and gently positioning in the desired direction. When there are curves with a small radius, like in the case of a wall or floor connection or a shower bench, place the modules, making sure that the joint never falls on the center of the curve itself. When you need to pause, stop the laying by gluing only the first half of the last module in the row, leaving the other half free of glue. Spread the glue until it fades. Resume the installation by spreading the glue. Pay special attention on this first step in order not to create a bump of glue between the part already glued and the new one. Allow the glue to dry for at least 24 hours. Horizontal surfaces are walkable after 1 day of drying the glue. For the grouting phase, proceed by correctly mixing the components of the epoxy grout. Use a digital scale to correctly measure the two components, the grout and catalyst. The mixture is ready for use when the two components are perfectly mixed and the color is homogeneous. If the size of the area to be grouted is small, we recommend not to mix the whole pack at once. The epoxy grout has a work time of about a half an hour. Spread the grout on the surface with the rubber trowel following the pattern of the tiles. Make sure to fill in the spaces between the tiles. Do not leave excess grout on the surface. Wait for 20 minutes. As soon as the grout starts to thicken, remove the excess grout by gently wiping the surface with a soft cellulose sponge soaked in clean water. Make sure to use clean water and sponges to remove halos. Allow the grout to dry for at least 24 hours. Once hardened, you can proceed with final cleaning by spraying the surface with an epoxy grout cleaner. Leave it to work for 15 minutes. Then, with an abrasive felt for epoxy grout, start the first deep cleaning by rubbing out the excess grout. Rinse the surface with plenty of clean water until the halos are completely removed. For best results, polish the surface with a common domestic glass cleaner and a soft cloth. Cutting a flex module can be easily carried with a continuous rim diamond blade, specific for cutting glass mosaics. Before cutting, apply a strip of masking tape to the area of the tile on which the cut will be made. Trace the cutting line with a marker and then proceed to cut the material. Grinder should be set to medium velocity. If you need to open circular holes in one module, like for example the point of insertion of a tap, lay dry the module that needs to be drilled and mark the cutting point with masking tape. Then, using a diamond circular hole saw cutter, drill the module. Make sure that the hole is aligned with the chosen point, and then proceed to glue the perforated module on the masonry. As an additional option to the grinder, you can use a blade cutter to remove portions of tesserae. Cut repeatedly the flexible white base. Then gently proceed to detach the engraved portion, taking special attention to avoid twisting the tiles excessively. If during the laying a tesserae detaches accidentally from the support, simply reattach it to the base by applying a minimal amount of superglue. Opening holes on the surface can be done through a drill provided with a cylindrical diamond tip. Mark the spot, then gently break the chosen tesserae and proceed with the first drill with diamond tip before changing it with a tip suitable for piercing the masonry substrate. If you need to replace chipped tesserae, with the help of a hammer and a sharp object, first gently fragment the damaged tesserae. Use a micro drill equipped with a conical diamond tip to gently and completely remove the tesserae until you see the white layer below. Remove the material until you obtain a surface as smooth and clean as possible, free of creases and imperfections. Create a space of at least 1 millimeter deeper than the thickness of the glass. For non-immersive repairing, insert the patch tesserae with a tip of superglue. Pay attention to the direction of the tesserae so that it matches the design. Allow 24 hours until the patch fully adheres. Then remove the transparent foil. At this point, the tiles will be perfectly glued. You can now grout and finish the patch. The laying of the Mutaforma material for swimming pools and water features follows a different process because the support base of the material is different. Tilla micro tesserae are pre-assembled on transparent plastic support, furnished with male to female joints. This peculiar support is called pure due to the lack of standard flexible base. Installation in a swimming pool uses the two-component epoxy grout as the only material both for the laying and the grouting phase of the modules. Make sure that the material used for leveling the surface support is compatible with both the underlying waterproofing layer and the two-component epoxy grout. Please note, in this process, substrate preparation is fundamental to guarantee tesserae adhesion and must be correctly made. Prepare the epoxy grout as per the instructions and proportions indicated on the package. Use a digital scale to dose correctly the two components, grout and catalyst. The mixture is ready to use when the two components are perfectly mixed and the color is homogeneous. Use the rectified notched trowel supplied and proceed to spread a layer of grout, paying attention not to exceed 1 millimeter of thickness. Lay the modules by pressing evenly with a trowel so that the grout fills all sections of the module. Make sure that the spacing between modules is correct and uniform. The pre-spaced jigsawed joints will make module matching easier. To remove the transparent plastic support, start by pulling it from an edge and detach it completely in a diagonal way, running the foil close to the laid surface. If some tesserae should be detached from the surface, put it back in place by using grout and wait until completely dry. Then, proceed to grout the surface with the two-component epoxy grout of the same color used for the laying, following the same procedure adopted in the flex laying. Seal well the corners and joints between the surfaces. Before filling the pool or the water feature, wait at least 72 hours from the completion of the last cleaning.